Hi, I am Rachel, the Good Witch of the Northeast, and welcome to your energetic check in for Aquarius season. We're going to be doing these breaking down into the different element or different signs and the elements. So, we're going to be starting with our earth signs. So, if you have your sun, moon, or rising in Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, this message will be for you. What does Aquarius season have for our earth signs? What can they expect coming down the pipe? It's been a minute since I've done this, so felt appropriate. Oh, probably because there's some ungrounded energy. Aquarius is very like floaty, dreamlike. Oops, sorry, I hit my mic. Dreamlike, ungrounded. No, not ungrounded, but very connected to like the upper ethers and the divine. So it would make sense that people who prefer more like physical like stuff to be struggling. Like that's fair. Okay, one more. Thank you. That's it. Okay, and we'll just get our clarifiers and then we'll go from there. Interesting. So we all know I'll never tell you what you want to hear. That being said, the energy is very duality. Like there is conflict, there is constraint, there is a limit of resources, is specifically what I heard. However, there's also security. There's themes of feeling safe, themes of justice. So very conflicting energies. Like, yes, there's going to be struggle, but there's also going to be optimism, positive outlook, hope. And I wonder if that's kind of new. I wonder if that isn't something that's been coming around for you guys very much. So as we go out of January, moving into February, this is the energy you'll be. The first 2 weeks of Aquarius season for you guys are going to be filled with definitely some opportunities for some solid boundaries and really grounding in your manifestation and what you believe is your intuition. Like maybe you were born to people who were kind of not self-abandoners, but they were taught that their gut, their intuition doesn't matter and they shouldn't listen to it, and instead listen to the people and systems in power. And I think there's going to be themes of challenging that in the first couple weeks. We also have you're moving into more state of security, more state of protection, grounding. I do think that some of the resource constriction coming in is due to an ancestral block. Because it's not a fear surrounding money, because that would show up in your solar plexus. So we'll see how that comes out. But you will be moving into a more grounded environment, a more safe space. Let's see. We also have, uh, if there's been hostile energies coming towards you, those are going to start to be waning. Maybe you could start studying what alchemy looks like, how to turn one thing into another. So if someone's coming at you with something negative, maybe you'll then able to pull your perspective back and see why they're coming at you from a negative lens. How can you learn from this? How can you help yourself feel safe and maybe how to help the other person? I think that there are some themes that you might be holding on to that aren't serving you anymore. Perhaps romanticizing of past experiences, past relationships. I know we all do that from time to time, past friendships, even co-working. I think that there has been some romanticization. I'm going to try and say that word. Some struggles with your perception and maybe not seeing things fully accurately anymore the further you get away from it. And that's normal as we internalize and process through our feelings and emotions. The ties to the past become less heavy, which is good. But also, the shadow to that truth is sometimes we can forget how difficult things were, or we can forget how hard we had to work, or we can forget how we were made to feel. And so, what I can say, the first couple weeks of Aquarius season for you guys, I would say focus on learning specific grounding techniques, even installing. I know everyone's like morning routines, no time for morning routines. There is always 5 minutes in the day to do a grounding activity, because a grounding activity could literally be mindfully drinking a glass of water. And that could literally just be thank you for this clean glass of water, because water should be a right to everybody. But for some reason, it's not. And there is a lot of people in America and the world that don't have access to clean water. So the fact that we have access to clean, fresh drinking water, that could be a really great grounding activity. Maybe you do it outside. Maybe you do it with bare feet. Maybe you meditate. There's tons of ways. Google is aplenty. We all have these devices on our phones and everywhere around us that we can look shit up. So look up what is a good grounding activity that aligns with me. Because maybe in Aquarius season, it's time for people to start, like, maybe you were born to certain programming and certain narratives that aren't serving you. And it's time to follow that thought out of, like, you believed a certain thing and now you're unlearning it. Cool. So what's your truth? I think that would be my biggest takeaway from this for you guys, is learning what your truth is. Because there's some form of grounding activity that aligns with everybody, because there's coloring, mindfully washing dishes, going for a walk, doing, it's not just meditating. Because when people hear grounding, they're like, oh, I don't want to do it. That's not for me. Do you want to feel better? Because that's what's needed. So stern talking to over. I would just recommend, like, and just finding one grounding activity and spending 5 minutes a day focusing on that. Also, be mindful of where you put your energy. What content are you consuming? How are you consuming it? What content are you putting out? Meaning, like, what's your energy going out in the world? Are you spending time with people who are constantly making you doubt yourself and abandon yourself? How are you showing up for self then? How are you helping yourself? I hope that made sense. That's what's hard about these things, and that's the hardest thing that I struggle with filming for YouTube, is there's no back and forth. And so I don't know if these things land. But that's what I'm getting. So we'll just move through. All right, let's do the last 2 weeks of Aquarius season for our earth signs, and then we'll wrap it up. Nice little bow. Beautiful. I said earth signs, right? I hope so. Because this is what we're doing. Last 2 weeks of Aquarius season for our earth signs, please. 2 of Cups, partnership. 7 of Pentacles, laying seeds, planting manifestations, perhaps. It's usually like, that can mean like symbolizing the need for patience, because things are like, you plant seeds in the fall to like, you plant certain plants or bulbs in the fall to have them bloom in the spring. So it's not the energy of go do yet, but it'll be the energy of plan, prepare. So this actually does align, because if you do spend the first 2 weeks finding a grounding technique, maybe what I say doesn't land with you right away. And then you notice yourself 3-4 days into Aquarius season, maybe like January 24th, you're like, fuck, I don't feel good. Maybe my voice will come back to you. And you think to yourself, maybe I should spend 5 minutes grounding. That could help. Two of Cups, 3 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles, the Lovers, King of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. Damn. Ace of Wands. That is funny, because we are reading our earth signs. That's funny. Because to me, obviously, I don't need to explain that. There's a lot here about, 2, 3, 4. I just noticed that King and Queen of the same suit. So there's a lot here about going in the right direction, alignment, balance, help available when needed. You'll be making solid choices because you know how you feel. I think that's why you're called to ground the first 2 weeks, is so you can discern what your intuition is, discern how you feel, so you can move forward aligned with people and energies that more speak to you. Because I think you're in this period of crossroads. And usually when we're at crossroads, there's also learning to be done. But the learning that's usually needed to be done in this situation is the learning of self. And even if you've been on this journey for a really, really long time, there's always stuff to learn. Like, we should be the eternal student. The King and Queen of Pentacles coming out together is actually very intriguing to me. That doesn't happen to me very often. So if you're in a relationship, this could speak to union. I'm a big believer of inner union and like the divine inner union, because we all deserve to be whole people, especially in relationships. So I don't know. I think this bodes well. And then ending with the Ace of Wands, an amazing opportunity, doing things that you're passionate about. Maybe embracing the energy of Aquarius season, and knowing that, yes, it can be floaty and detachy, and that can be a little alarming, but maybe embracing the energy of the fluidity could be helpful. Because I think specifically you guys are moving through a really big transition period. Yeah. Ground, listen to self, institute those actions. That's it. You can do it. If I have said anything that you have questions about, I am over on Instagram, The Good Witch of the Northeast. Feel free to DM me and I can answer them. I also do personal readings. The link is in my bio on Instagram. You're able to book yourself. And if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out. I love you. I hope you have a wonderful Aquarius season. I hope it's bountiful and filled with blessings and protection. I love you.